Welcome to 13 News at Noon. I'm Jenny Runovich filling in today with meteorologist Lindsay Monroe. Okay, before we talk weather, this is like, we never get to chat. So how you been?
I know. I mean, you're up early. I feel like this is your normal shift, but you're coming in off of like a Sunday evening.
Right, we never get to work together. This is so fun. You're now married.
I know. Breaking news. It's been, It's been a wild couple of weeks. Of course, I'm in for Sean Ash today. He's going to be in for Angela tonight. So it's vacation season.
It is vacation season, and we know that because it's been hot, it's been humid, it's that time of year, and some spots yesterday really got hit hard by rain.
Yeah, and even overnight we had some spots down in southern Monroe County, 7.5 inches of rainfall in just about a 12-hour span of time, and that's why you see that little box just south of Bloomington. That's an ongoing flood warning because near Lake Monroe, again, 7.5 inches of rain reported. We've had some spotty showers redevelop in northern Indiana over the past few hours, and this is all as the atmosphere is fairly unsettled because of a cold front that's coming in. Again, we've had some of the spotty rain kind of redeveloping here. Not going to rule out the potential that these can bring some brief heavy downpours. Rainfall rates nearly an inch or two per hour, so you can see how that could quickly cause some areas of flooding, some local roadways, things like that. So if you do come up to a situation where we got some heavy rain, just be cautious of traveling. Up again, just north of this area is where we've had some of those flooding reports. And in addition to that, we have a very juicy atmosphere. We're sitting on the warm and humid side of that frontal system, so our dew points are going to stay in the low 70s for the rest of the day. And once we plug that into our muggy meter, we know it's going to be a pretty miserable day once again when it comes to how it feels outside. Temperatures headed back to the upper 80s briefly, 87 while we've got some dry time. Storms will redevelop this evening. Some of them could bring some isolated damaging wind gusts. We're going to talk about the timeline, the passing of that cold front, and some less humid air set to arrive. That's coming up in your full forecast.
All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. See you in a few minutes. New today at noon, we are learning more about a deadly shooting that happened this morning on Indy's east side. Happened near 38th and Butler just before 4 a.m. IMPD tells us when officers arrived there, they found a man who'd been shot in very critical condition. He later died at the hospital. Witnesses told 13 News a disturbance happened inside the home leading up to that shooting. So far, no arrests. And that shooting follows a violent weekend all across Indianapolis. Police are also investigating 2 more shootings on Sunday. The first happened Sunday morning on Indy's north side. Metro Police say neighbors found 2 men, 19-year-olds Isaiah Wilson and Jesse Quiros, shot and killed near 43rd and Cornelius Avenue. Police right now still working to find out exactly what happened, and they're still searching for suspects. Meanwhile, several hours later, IMPD responded to another shooting, this time on Southeastern Avenue. We're told a hit-and-run crash on Mass Ave led to a possible road rage shooting. Someone in one of the vehicles pulled a gun, killing the victim. Police detained a person of interest at first, but later released them. They call the shooting avoidable.
Picking up a firearm should not be the first resort that you go to whenever you have a disagreement with somebody. It's unacceptable. Our officers are doing everything that we can to deter gun violence. I think we've done a good job of that in the last year or so, so we'll continue to do that.
There have now been 72 homicides in Marion County since the start of the year. And police say while those homicide numbers overall are down over last year, that does not account for the number of non-fatal shootings so far this year. And now to frustrations from the community trying to find a fix for this. Faith leaders are demanding action, saying this gun violence cannot be our new normal. Marina Silva talked to them about causes and solutions.
We hear this same sentence.
Whenever there's a conflict, you should not resort to gun violence. That should not be the first thing that you do, is resort to gun violence.
Over and over.
When we talk about conflict resolution, you just heard me say that this was completely preventable.
Every time there's a homicide.
Conflict resolution, folks have got to understand how to resolve conflict resolutions.
Police reminding people to put the guns down and work out their issues. And yet, 6 people are dead in Indianapolis this weekend alone. Faith leaders are fed up.
Sad, frustrated, angry that we've had all these people killed this weekend.
Metro Police and activists were encouraged that homicide numbers were trending down and still continue to do so. But when you have a weekend like this, it is daunting. 13 News tracks those numbers. As of Sunday, there have been 72 homicides in Marion County in 2025.
The city, has seen a significant reduction in violent crimes in the city, and we were tracking, as far as criminal homicides and homicides, close to the 2013 numbers, and we haven't seen anything like that, in over 10 years.
Reverend Charles Harrison went to multiple homicide scenes over the weekend. He wants to see change. At his own church, he's giving young people alternatives, basketball teams, and boxing classes. But the weapons on the street worry him.
I'm concerned about guns and assault rifles being in the hands of individuals who have no regard for the sanctity of human life. I'm very concerned about that, and I'm concerned about its long-term impact on our city.
Pastor David Green Sr. is the president of the Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis. He says to reduce gun violence, you have to solve community issues.
Yeah, I mean, unless you solve some of the core issues, when you have housing issues, a number of other issues, you got a lot of work to do. I don't think we can expect violence to go down when we haven't necessarily addressed a number of core factors that contribute to the violence.
Both Harrison and Green work to combat the violence in the city. Neither wants another weekend like this.
And community members are also emphasizing gun violence affects more than just the victim. It hurts families and everyone who witnessed the violence as well. We have much more on these shootings and the ripple effect they're having in Indy. You can find more information and how to contact police if you can help investigators. All of that on WTHR.com. A man who pleaded guilty to murdering his 3-month-old son and beating his wife with a tire iron is set to be sentenced tomorrow. He faces decades in prison. Elias Moneas took a plea deal last month. He confessed to the murder and the beating last August. Court documents say his wife told officers they had an argument before he left with their baby Jacob. When he returned, Jacob wasn't with him, and his wife says Moneas attacked her with that tire iron. After police couldn't find Jacob, they arrested Moneas and searched his apartment. They say they found the baby's body hidden inside the apartment. Moneas is set to be sentenced at 9 a.m. tomorrow. He faces between 65 and 95 years in prison. Well, we have some breaking news this afternoon. The jury is now deliberating in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. He's accused of federal racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The defense gave its closing arguments on Friday. Government prosecutors also gave their final rebuttal on Friday. Now, if the 55-year-old Combs is found guilty of the most serious charges, he could face life in prison. Combs' attorneys have argued that any sex related to the case was consensual. Back here in Indiana tomorrow, dozens of new laws take effect. So here are some of the big ones to look out for. One change limits how much your property tax bill can go up. That's meant to provide tax relief long term. Lawmakers also passed more than 24 laws surrounding education in Indiana. Candidates for local school board will now have to declare their political party affiliation. And any college student will no longer be able to use their student ID as proof of identity to vote. Other laws changed the K-12 curriculum, focusing on improving math scores, limiting sex education, and increasing teacher pay.